I made this short animation with $0 in just a couple of hours. And obviously, the result with paid tools would be better, no doubt about that. But I decided to take the challenge. $0. And this one is for real. I actually took a scenario I made last year where I used vector images for the animation. Actually, the most popular video on the channel. So here is the final result, and I'll show you how to do it just after this. So in last year's tutorial, I showed you all the steps to create 2D animations with vectors, from exploring and creating your characters and sceneries, creating your storyboard with all your scenes, to animating it using frame sequences. I suggest you go back to that tutorial for some aspects I will not be covering. So when we want to generate a lot of videos, free AI is not really a choice, but a must. I already tried to create short films with popular tools, like VO3, Kling, or WAN, but the cost is just way too much. You would need a serious budget just to create a couple of consistent scenes. When it comes to free tools, the only one I know which is really free and does not give you any limitation is Sora by OpenAI. The problem is that the quality and consistency is very poor. In this example, it really does seem to hallucinate most of the time. The solution? Generate as many as possible. For my example, for every single second of animation, I probably generate 20 to 30, or even 40 clips. Most of them will be inconsistent, but in this mass, you will definitely find some seconds to work with. So, what is the workflow? You will mainly need two tools that you'll work with a lot. ChatGPT to generate the first frames of each scene, and Sora to generate as many clips as possible using that first frame. And the cool thing about GPT, especially the latest version, is that it will keep a great consistency within a chat session. You give it your character, for example this random one, and ask it to give you your scene. My character running in the forest. Once generated, you can always adjust the style and details of your image. Larger field of view, add a dog running next to him. You can also resize to bring it to your video format. 16 by 9, for example. Once you're satisfied of your image, you take it to Sora. And here is where it gets a little tricky. So with Sora, if you choose high resolution, you'll be limited with duration or number of clips you can generate at once. And since we'll be generating a lot, I prefer to use a medium resolution, 480. Plus, it is very fast to generate 4 clips. You put in your image and your prompt. In this example, a Pixar cartoon, a character running in the forest. After you generate the first series, don't be surprised. A lot of them will be hallucinations, but you will find some valid seconds. You can always add some additional instructions in your prompt and regenerate, since it's free. Also a good thing to know, you can either generate clips of 5 seconds or 10 seconds. At first, I thought you should always go for 10 seconds. You know, why go with less? But that's not very true. The 5 seconds option seems to be more consistent at times. For example, Look at this 10-second clip. Very inconsistent. It kind of adds extra scenes that you didn't ask for. But the 5 seconds? Much more consistent. So my advice? 10-second clips if you want to vary your shots. And 5-second clips if you want a more stable scene. And that is basically it. You just need to generate as many as possible until you get valid shots. In my example for the simple sleeping scene, I had to generate a lot of clips. Most of them were unusable, but I still managed to get 4 or 5 seconds of valid clips. So you do this for all your scenes. You start by generating your starting frame in GPT and as many clips as possible in Sora. You save all the valid clips by putting a meaningful title and a number. You repeat the process for all your scenes, and when you're done, you can move on to the editing part. You compile all your scenes and head on to CapCut. You trim your clips to keep only the valid segments. Out of 5 or 10 clips, you should be able to get a couple of seconds of valid animation. But here are the most important tips for this one. Bring in the clips of each scene. You should have 3, 4, or 5 clips minimum for each scene, and they should be named in a meaningful way for you to identify them. Here I have the running clips, 1, 2, 3, and so on. The sleeping clips, 1, 2, 3, and so on. You place them and test them. Look for anomalies and look for good-looking sequences. Sometimes Sora will create extra scenes that you can use. Like this water flow. Looks cool. If it doesn't suit your scenes, just trim them or delete them. I move on to the next scene, the camping site, and you check out your clips second by second, just like we did previously. Same thing for the running scene. Sometimes you will have good surprises, you keep them. And sometimes you will have bad or glitchy segments. You delete or trim them. Oh, and one last thing. Since we're going with $0, we won't be able to use the pro features of CapCut. So, no fancy effects or fancy filters. But you can still go on with some free ones that do the job just well. The blur effect is free. And so is the vignette effect. It's good to know that you can stack them, and they will give you a bigger effect. The motion blur is also free, if you want to use it in movement or speed. Don't forget that you can adjust the strength of the effects with these little slide bars. Also, for the filters, you have a couple of free ones you can go with. This one will really depend on your preferences and your scenario. So, just look for the ones that don't have that little diamond, and you'll be good to go. You should be able to find 1 or 2 free filters in each of the categories, and that is the price you pay for $0. For the rest, don't forget to check out the main tutorial and the other ones on the channel. You'll find plenty of useful stuff there. Cheers!